evening. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for me. Thank you for joining me on this late night Tuesday evening. Coming to you live from Nashville, Tennessee. Before we get started, make sure you guys go over to that Rebelwithoutareason.com. Get all your favorite merchandise, shirts, hats, hoodies, and more. You'll also find a link to the show over there. Click on that beast. You'll go right over to the Rumble show. Biggity bam right there for you. I know they like to hide the show from y'all sometimes, so pay no attention to this 7 p.m. right here. That has nothing to do with anything. Check out them new merchandise we got, though. I need to update this beast so it'll show the cool stuff first instead of new to old. That's what I need to do. Get you one of those Joe shirts. Get you one of those Side Joe shirts today. $16.94. That's a good buy. He's got him a cool little pin on there right there. It's hard to see from this photo, but it says regulate guns, not women. Get his new nickname on there for you. Genocide Joe. Guess you don't have to meet the Joe part, but you get what I'm saying. Get you one of those right there. Got those with the logo or without his big ugly mug on there if you just want to rock the old G.I. Joe logo. We got mugs in that beast as well. Got the little new Sloppy Joe tee. Get you a Sloppy Joe. It's so good you'll lick other people's fingers. We're like I'm extra sloppy. I'll get you one of those total retard shirts. I'm interested to see. I got some of those coming for myself to see how that print's going to be. I don't think it's going to be all blocky like that. I'm hoping that they will figure out how to print on that properly without it being looking dumb. So check out all those and more over at rebelwithoutareason.com. What up, folks? Shout out to all the Rumble people over there. Make sure y'all hit those like buttons and whatnot over there. Those subscribe and follow buttons. Channel is demonetized right now on YouTube, so hit me on that Cash App right there. It's $ Rebel Without a Reason. Or scan that code right there. It's running in front of your face. Now, moving on to the fun stuff. Did y'all watch that fiasco that was going down today? With that special counsel shit? That shit was wild. Both sides were, the trial was about Biden's mishandling, allegedly, of classified documents and his whatever he might or might not have told to his ghostwriter when he's writing his new book. So they were both sides were playing videos of Trump and also of Joe Biden, how they're not there cognitively. It was kind of funny, actually, and they're throwing slurs left and right. Well, your guy's doing this. If your guy can do this, my guy can do that. It was crazy. All right, let's get into the first thing. The Boeing, the whole Boeing thing that's going on right now. They got scrutiny going on because of amid reports of the failed FAA safety audits. There was a whistleblower that came forward, and he ended up deleting himself, allegedly. Sure, that's not tied into anything to do with investigations or whatnot. It couldn't be. I mean, who would think that? Let's get in on this here.
The focus for investigators, that terrifying nosedive off New Zealand that injured dozens. Passengers say the LATAM pilot claimed he suddenly lost control of the Boeing 787 when the flight data computers went dark. In 2016, the FAA issued an airworthiness directive for the 787, warning that if the flight control computers are not reset every 22 days, they could shut themselves down.
That's crazy, dude. If the flight control computers are not reset every 22 days, they could shut themselves down. What if the person that's in charge of this shit just kind of forgets, or they don't show up to work that day? They don't tell Nancy and Bob and them, hey man, make sure you hit that reset for me. They'll just stop working? Wow.
Which could result in flight controls that don't respond and a temporary loss of controllability.
Investigators will look at...
What the hell? Controls that don't respond and what was the other one? Temporary loss of controllability. Wow. That's crazy.
Controllability.
Investigators will look at whether the airplane was completely depowered at one point in the last 3 weeks.
Meanwhile, 2 months since that mid-air MAX 9 emergency, sources close to the investigation say Boeing has failed 33 of 89 FAA audits.
Wow, dude. 33 of 89 FAA audits. And the whistleblower guy was coming forward with all this. See, the whistleblower who warned of the aircraft problems, he just couldn't take it no more. He was about to go into a lawsuit with him, and who knows what might have happened then.
The FAA confirming it identified non-compliance issues in Boeing's manufacturing process control, parts handling and storage, and product control.
If we see something that requires us to cease production or pull something down, we'll do that.
In an email, Boeing's chief of commercial planes today called on every employee to precisely follow every step of our manufacturing procedures and processes.
So what he alleged in his thing, I hope they talk about it on this, but I have another clip later we can play. They were wanting them to reuse parts that were thrown into the scrap bin. Like, hey, this shit ain't even no good anymore. We can't reuse it. And they're like, hey, we got to get this plane back up in the air. We got to get it back in service, allegedly. Put that raggedy ass washer back on there. It'll be straight. And then you got wheels falling off, doors falling off. Crazy. Unrelated, though, I'm sure.
While in South Carolina, a coroner says former Boeing whistleblower John Barnett took his own life before his upcoming trial against the company.
See, he took his own life right before his upcoming trial against the company. It's not like he wasn't going to win or something. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of pressure going on there. What's up, Devon? Devon's in the house.
2019, Barnett told NBC News Boeing was putting profits ahead of safety.
From day one, it's just all been about schedule and hurry up and just get it done, push the planes out.
In a statement, Boeing says we are saddened by Mr. Barnett's passing and our thoughts are with his family and friends. Under intense scrutiny, the company today called on every employee to be on the lookout for safety or quality issues and speak up. Lester?
Thanks for watching.
I took that a different way right there at the end. What up, Boomhauer's in the house? Right here, listen to this. We are saddened. The company said this. We're saddened by Barnett's passing, and our thoughts are with his family and friends. Like, we're thinking about y'all. You know what I mean? This dude that was in a lawsuit with us that was going to whistleblow on our whole company. Too bad he died, man. So sorry for him and his friends. But hey, sent out a letter to everybody in the company. Everybody in the company. If you see something, say something. You understand me? Say something. Say something else. Everybody say something.
Boeing says we are saddened by Mr. Barnett's passing and our thoughts are with his family and friends. Under intense scrutiny, the company today called on every employee to be on the lookout for safety or quality issues and speak up. Lester?
Thanks for watching. Stay on.
You better say something. Anybody else got something to say? Who's got something to say in here? Shit. Totally a coincidence, I'm sure. Not related at all. What you mean? Shout out to Devin and Boomhauer in the house. Yeah, so we got the Boeing Whistleblower. I'm going to do a couple other stories in there. We're going to talk about the Haiti evacuation. Another Biden mishap. This is the third time, I think, that I've seen helicopters evacuating a U.S. embassy in a country because shits done went to hell. Sonia is on Rumble. What's up, Sonia? And then we'll do the truth about plastic surgery. And dude, Sonia turned me on to this story. I watched this video and I could not believe what I was seeing, dude. So straight up graphic warning when we get over to the Rumble channel. You may not want to stick around for it, dude, because even the plastic surgeon that they were getting to give his opinion on these procedures that were happening, he was going, what the hell did we just watch? Oh my God, that was the worst shit I've ever seen in my life. And I'm going, oh my God, dude, this is crazy. This is crazy. So we'll deal with all that shit later, but thank y'all for being here with me and hanging out and whatnot. Devin fighting a cold? Oh, hell no. What you need to do is feed a cold. Remember those old commercials? You need to sweat it out. They had all these different remedies. It ain't botched, homeboy. It's worse than botched, man. I'm like, oh my goodness. It ain't botched. Before we get that going, let's do this one here. This 14-year-old girl goes to the school board and gives them a piece of her mind. This is like part 2 of one that she did already, where she was getting harassed at school because they want her to do and say certain shit that she knows legally, going by the Constitution, that you are not, she's not required to do. They're trying to infringe on her rights and whatnot. So she's about to school these fools. Conservative 14-year-old girl calls out the school board. I represent the revolution and I won't back down.
At previous meetings, I've revealed Superintendent Roberts' almost $400,000 salary and over $100,000 salary that many teachers and staff members in this district are making.
$400,000 salary up in this bitch, and she'll explain why this is absolutely ridiculous. On top of the price itself, I mean, that's obvious.
I exposed your abysmal proficiency scores, which are as low as 20% and a shocking 3.4% for your special education students. I've repeatedly called out your hypocrisy and tyrannical actions against speakers at these meetings. You even walked out on me once for doing so. I pointed out your animosity and bullying of a member on your own board. I've exposed this board and even your lawyer for failing to follow state and federal laws and your repeated violations of the Open Meetings Act and Constitution. I even gave each of you copies of the U.S. Constitution. Some of you refuse to take them, even though it's apparent you're not familiar with constitutional rights.
Wow. So she tried to give them all a piece of paper, a copy of the Constitution, and they're like, no thanks. I'm straight. What an example to set for a young lady, a young child that's trying to come up. These are the school board people. They are the representative of education. If you're a child, you aspire to be these people. These are the grown-ups that you're supposed to be looking up to.
Others here have exposed your mismanagement of school funds. There's missing money allotted for projects never done, money traced to marijuana shops, some
marijuana shops,
quid pro quo deals, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's been so much focus on this board's corruption and incompetence. I question if these board meetings are bad comedies playing out or a crime documentary series, especially considering there's a group of people here who praise you at every meeting. They insist you're doing a wonderful job. Everything is literally rainbows and unicorns for them. That is, until our side speaks. We're disparaged for demanding transparency and a better education for students. They refuse to acknowledge the irrefutable facts we present. They'd rather push their sexual agendas, divisive curriculum, and political ideologies on students in this district. Apparently, they're content with this district's low scores, high salaries, and lack of accountability. The only requests I've heard from them are to keep sexually graphic books in their school libraries and keep those opposing their beliefs out of these meetings.
Yep.
Newsflash to that group here. This is a public meeting, and according to the Open Meetings Act, anyone can attend, regardless.
Pop quiz, asshole. She fucking putting the hammer down on these assholes. And in the nicest, sweetest way, too. Like, they can't even get mad, but they're fuming right now. You know, they're totally upset.
Regardless if they own property in the district, not to mention, many of us have family members in this district. Additionally, it's our First Amendment right to address grievances to our government, and a school board is a government body. We will continue to demand accountability and oppose the agendas detrimental to successful education. In the words of George Orwell, in times of universal deceit, telling the truth will be a revolutionary act. So, to you board members and your cheer team, I represent the revolution and I won't back down.
Ooh, shit. Tore him up. Tore that ass up. Get some cream for that ass. It's swollen and red right now. She beat him down. And their test scores are for shit. Their school is for shit. And then they get up there and blow smoke up each other's ass, talking about how great they are. Shout out to that girl's parents. Let me do this here. Put this warning on screen. These next few stories are crazy as hell, dude. We got to brace ourselves. A father sentenced to life for graping his daughter in a Georgia case that almost never went to a jury. Watch this crazy shit.
Her historic case lands the man who raped her daughter in prison for life.
The Athens Clark County District Attorney had dismissed the case last year, saying it didn't have enough evidence. 11 Alive investigator Rebecca Lindstrom explains how this case landed in front of a jury anyway.
It only took the jury 45 minutes to deliberate and find Michael Oreco Daniel guilty of rape, incest, and child molestation. For nearly a year, we have talked about Marsy's Law, the constitutionally protected rights given to victims in Georgia. And this is the case that started it all. Last May, 11 Alive was the only camera in the courtroom for the state's first Marsy's Law hearing, as a mother told the judge how the Athens Clark County DA's office violated her daughter's rights. We're not showing the mother to protect the girl's identity. She was only 14 years old when her mom found disturbing text messages on her phone.
He was a lot of time asking her to come into our home office with him, and if she didn't respond, he would ask her to delete the messages.
But the day of the
Yeah, it was the dad, Boomhauer. The actual father did this shit, asking her to come into the office, in the home office and shit.
trial, without warning, the prosecutor dismissed the charges.
I was shocked. And
Why?
Then I became kind of angry.
I don't know why the prosecutor dismissed the charges. I'm sure it was some type of a technicality, but she wasn't having it. She had good attorneys and didn't want to give up on it.
Because I wasn't understanding.
Today, proudly wearing a shirt proclaiming girl power, the mother remembers the judge finding for the first time in Georgia a DA's office guilty of violating Marsy's Law. About a month later, that same judge requested that a prosecutor outside of the DA's office look at the case.
If I didn't have these attorneys, we wouldn't have went back to court, but I also wouldn't have found out how bad they messed up our case because they just wanted me to think that it wasn't enough evidence.
This week, Michael Oreco Daniel went on trial, and the jury found him guilty on every count. The rape charge alone comes with a mandatory minimum of 25 years in prison.
Peace out, sucker.
Emotional, and We cried happy tears, but sad as well. I think the healing will actually start.
Despite the outcome for this family, I don't think we're going to start seeing a wave of Marsy's Law cases. That's because most of the time it's just a public acknowledgement that something went wrong. There's no money, and rarely will it lead to a case like this being re-indicted.
All right, Rebecca, thank you.
Why the hell not? Why the hell not? That's what they got the law for there. Crazy, man. Do that to your own daughter. There's some sick individuals in this world, man. Amazing. Amazing. Let's keep on this weird shit for a second before we get to these other stories. I appreciate y'all being here tonight. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for me. We're just going to go to Florida now. A Florida student says she felt sexually assaulted in a school paddling. This young lady's 18 years old, and she had paperwork that says no corporal punishment on there. They didn't even call the mama. They just went straight to, hey, you're going to either take ISS, which I just would have took ISS. Who cares? We're just going to a different room in the building. Who gives a fuck? But she had certain things that she had to, that she was going to miss out on if she didn't take the lick. And they knew that, and they did it in a weird way. We'll let her explain it all, but it's crazy. Yeah, why can't people just go out and date somebody their own age? I know, dude. That shit is weird. To me, if you're not within 5 years of dating somebody, it's weird as fuck. I just can't see the connection. All right, let's go.
For students, corporal punishment is still a very real and, yes, very painful experience. Brooklyn Daniels is that 19-year-old high school senior. She goes to Liberty County High School in the Florida Panhandle. And, yes, she sits on the student council, made the homecoming court, and was a page in the state senate. She's already been accepted into college and is already taking college-level courses at her local community college while still in high school.
So got her shit together, in other words, going to school, doing all the right things, making all the right choices. Let's see what happens. Oops.
It all began with a misunderstanding over an honor society event, and then came the corporal punishment that she says was instead sexual assault. The principal, Eric Willis, giving her a choice: take a full day in school suspension or be paddled by him and another man, Tim Davis, the assistant principal.
Dude, I know how this shit is. I got my ass beat one time from the principal, and my mom had to come up there because she was probably jealous because she wanted to get that ass beat, to be honest. Like, how dare you beat that ass? That's my job, you know? But she signed off on it and everything. Said, yeah, beat his ass. If he's being stupid, beat his ass. And he got off on it, man. He was talking bad to me. We can't even talk about it on YouTube. Maybe we'll talk about it on Rumble. But yeah, he gave it all. He gave his all on that shit. And then she saw the bruises that was on me. Boy, came back up to that school and broke her foot off in his ass. Dr. Love. Burn in hell, you piece of trash. Anyway, let's go. Anyway, let's back down memory lane. Anyway, let's do this shit.
And here's where it gets worse. Brooklyn's mom had already signed this form opting out of corporal punishment. But Brooklyn had an exam to take and a job to get to. Brooklyn was paddled twice, fully clothed. An 18-year-old girl alone with two older men. Tim Davis, the assistant principal and former Major League Baseball player, performed the paddling. Brooklyn saying both men giggled and seemed to get off on it. She says the incident left her with welts and bruises and that she had a hard time sitting down for days. Tonight, Brooklyn and her mother, Christina Van, are seeking petitions, on a petition to ban corporal punishment in Florida schools, and both of them join us live tonight. And Brooklyn and Christina, thank you very much for being with us. Sorry for the long introduction and the cough, because this is such an important story. But we felt the need to explain everything that happened. Brooklyn, what did the principal say to you to warrant the paddle instead of a lesser punishment? And do you feel as if you had a choice?
Absolutely not. They basically said that it didn't matter what the circumstances, only 2 forms of punishment that I was allowed to receive for my lie, or literally it was just a misunderstanding. They, even though I told them that, you know, I'm only there for a couple of periods throughout the day and it's only morning periods, they refused to let me skip out of ISS. I couldn't write a paper about what I did wrong. I couldn't do anything other than just take the corporal punishment, which they both seem excited to be happening.
Brooklyn, describe what happened step by step, because you describe it as feeling almost like a sexual assault.
And these are 2 grown men. You couldn't find a nurse or an assistant somewhere. They're female principals out there. Where's all the ladies at? All the single ladies. Where's all the ladies? Sonia says, I do not approve of this in a school. Y'all let me know. Is this proper for kids nowadays in 2024 to get that paddling? Some of them need it because they don't get that ass beat at home, but not every situation is the same. She's going to explain how they even got there. It was a misunderstanding. Donald Hops in the house. The next press release would be of the 2 being hospitalized. I hear that. Sonia says, I'm surprised this is not all over since the woke hate Florida. Oh, yeah. Because she's a white lady, probably. Quiet as it's kept, but if she had a black gay vagina, she probably would be front page news.
Yes, sir. So both of them, once they finally got me to agree to the corporal punishment, they did not tell me how it was. They immediately, like 3 seconds later, after I finally was just like, okay, fine, right? So 3 seconds later, they take me out of one of the principal's classrooms, take me to, or not classrooms, but offices, takes me out of there, takes me to the other principal's office, shuts the door, and then proceeds to tell me, you know what to do, bend over the desk. Where they took and grabbed a paddle and spanked me 2 times. Taking their time on the first one, they hit me once, took a minute, then like basically mocked it almost. It was like they were just laughing about it, like a haha, like we finally got to do that kind of way. It was disgusting and just disturbing about how long they took to do the second lick. Mind you, I'm in blue jeans and a t-shirt bent over a desk with my hands on the desk. And then,
Dude, you would think that a grown adult, 2 grown men would understand that this shit is inappropriate as fuck. If I'm the one that's going to be the principal, I want to have every witness that I can up in there and protect my ass. Like, I don't even want to go this route. I can't believe they even went this way with this young lady. Sonya says, I had no idea this was still done. What the fuck? Yeah. Donald said, I just came out of the junkyard welding up a new invention. Boom tube. I'm here to inspire that creativity, sir. Let's keep going.
Once I finally did the second hit, maybe like, I don't know, 2 minutes after they did the
2 minutes after they did the first one. Holy crap.
first one, they opened the door. I couldn't look either of them in the eyes. Shocked and hurt, and I just had tears in my eyes, and I just walked to look at them. I just walked out and called my mom because I just couldn't believe what had just happened.
Mom, what was your reaction when you got that phone call?
I don't know why she didn't call her mother to begin with and say, no. My shit's on the paperwork that says no corporal punishment. Call my mama right now or I'm calling the fucking cops. You gonna try to fucking hit me with a paddle? The shit's in the paperwork. Get ready for a lawsuit, dumbass. Sonya says, first of all, spanking on the bottom is something you only do with small children when they don't understand any other way. Yeah, she's 18, so she's a grown adult. Still in school, though. She's a student. They are the higher powers over top of her. Boom, what's up? 666 in the house. Kicking down the door. just in time for some crazy shit. Let's keep going. What was Mama's reaction when you got that phone call? If you're the mom, Sonia, you're a female. Mama, he just beat my ass with this paddle twice. I know it's on the paperwork. We already talked about this before I even went to school, but here we are. 2 grown-ass men.
I was really upset, to be honest, because I felt like the school neglected to even look at her paperwork to see that she shouldn't have had that option to begin with. The school should have been a little bit more willing to work with her or accommodate her because she is such an outstanding student. But
yeah, it's not like she's a troublemaker. You know what I mean? She's not out there starting fights, fucking with people, late for school, doing drugs. She would be the perfect student. Like, this is the product of what you would hope would be good teaching, good parental guidance, etc., etc.
That she felt like she had no other choice, like she was backed into a corner and had to accept corporal punishment. I literally cried because I felt like
Boomhammer, you wrong as hell, man. He said, "Mama busy eating." She actually taught her well because, I mean, she's got her shit together. She's going to school. She's doing the right thing, you know. Yeah, what did she do to get so bad in trouble anyway? That's what we're trying to get to. Let's keep going.
I would never want my kid to be in that position. That's why I'm stating no corporal punishment to begin with. So to hear that this happened, it upset me, and of course made me cry because I felt like I wasn't there to be able to do anything to protect my child.
Brooklyn, take me back to that moment. You're 18. You're a senior.
Yes, sir.
Was it degrading?
Yeah.
That long
when
sigh.
they told me that.
Why?
Nothing that, well, they told me that nothing I said mattered, that because their administrative staff said that I lied, that it was automatically a lie. They refused to hear me out, even though I've been there for 4 years doing everything that I mean, I was a student athlete. I was in all honors programs. I was a Beta Club member, which is the honor society that we're talking about. I was in the Garnet Gold Spirit Club. You know, I did all of these things for the school. I even did a bunch of community service, and it was just like they didn't care. It was
community
they
service.
saw me as an object, a tiny object, rather than an actual human being, a woman. I'm 18, and that's all they saw.
Christina, was what happened to your daughter corporal punishment, or do you think it was something worse?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
What happened to your daughter, Brooklyn? Was it corporal punishment in your opinion, or was it something worse?
In my opinion, yes, I do know that it was corporal punishment, but I do believe it kind of leads more on like the sexual assault, as because they got kicks from it. They got enjoyment from being able to do this to a young female student who's, you know, I'm not going to try and sound conceited, unfortunately, but as beautiful as Brooklyn is and as accomplished as she is. But I think that there's boundaries that were crossed.
Brooklyn, you're a senior. You've seen the principal and the assistant principal most days for the past 3 years. What was your relationship with them before the paddling?
I would say not. I mean, it wasn't the best. I never really talked to them much. You know, we just passed through the hallways, and it was, "Hey, Daniels, how's it going? Are you going to join softball this year?" And I was always like, "No, thanks." And that was that. But it was never like what a lot of the other students were born and raised here. I'm not from here, and so I felt like I always got some sort of, you know, just other treatment. It was basically like, if you're not born and raised here, then you don't matter. It was like they were constantly trying to get me in trouble or trying to find something to say about it. I mean, I wore a skirt one day that matched the dress code perfectly, and it was like knee length. It went past the dress code requirements, but I still got in trouble and was told to change or go home because my skirt came a little bit up in the back by like an inch because I have curves and I'm a female. I mean, I have the body shape of a woman, and they didn't care.
Brooklyn, final question before I let you go. 10 seconds. Are you convinced that this was more...
Dude, this seems like a lawsuit to me. I'm no attorney, but I think she's got a pretty good case, at least for a settlement anyway, because they don't want this type of controversy.
Sexual assault than corporal punishment?
Yes, sir, I do. From all the modeling jobs that I've had and just everything going on, and the fact that they took so long and were unwilling to give me any other form of punishment, any other way to look at it. I've sat here and thought about this moment in my mind every single day after it happened, and it's disgusting and revolting. I just can't even think of anything else.
Brooklyn and Christina, thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
And by the way, we've reached out a number of times to both the principal and assistant principal at Liberty County High School. We also reached out to the Liberty County School District, the superintendent there. None offered any comment.
Crazy. No comment either. Of course not. They don't want to fuck with that and have some type of litigation. Liberty County, that sounds like that'd be a public school in my opinion. I don't know for sure. Antony, what's up, Antony? Mister's in the house as well. Welcome, Mister, everybody. Let's see what we're going to move on to next. I got crazy stuff today, man. Crazy. Give a little update from Tiffany Henyard. Everybody's seen her new podcast came out. Well, she did a little snippet, just a small little snippet. She's got the tea for everybody. Let's watch.
And then turn around and say, oh, it's her, it's not me. Stop it. Stop it, sir. Larry the liar, stop it.
Larry the liar, whoever this is, she's going after him. And then she's got a ticker here at the bottom of it that says exposes a candy store operating illegal nightclub. So she's saying, Larry the lawyer, stop it. Larry the liar, stop it.
Larry the liar, stop it. You caught. Poof, be gone. You caught. Stop. Now, what you got going on up in here? What is this? I know, like a little boom boom room. What is this?
Dude, it's about to be crazy as hell. When all this shit goes down with this young lady, it's going to be crazy. She got the podcast going now. So that was obviously some type of a raid, one of the raids that were going on. And one of the businesses that were complaining that they got raided because they didn't donate to her campaign or something. So she's dragging them out here. So with all the running the city, running the township, all the controversy that she's got time to do podcasts, interviews, and still keep everything running. Crazy. So I'm waiting every single day. I'm checking my updates like, dude, when is the next one going to happen? So every day they drop, make sure you follow me on these social media platforms right here. You get all the latest updates. If you miss the shows or if I end up not going live on Tuesday or Thursday, you can still get all the latest news by doing that. Let's go on to this next one. Driver intentionally rams a motorcyclist off the road and the suspect is still on the loose.
To that horrifying video, this dash cam video from a truck showing a driver ramming into a motorcyclist and forcing them off the road. That motorcyclist is from Leesburg and does have serious injuries. They are recovering.
Watch him flip over right
hospital.
here.
Troopers say a fit of road rage led to this yesterday on northbound I-75 in Sumter County. FHP is looking for a silver or gray 2020 Honda Civic. So far, no description of its driver. To that horrifying video, this
crazy. He flipped end over end on that motorcycle. You saw his lights going all crazy. The candy store is a great name for an illegal nightclub. Her little car theft ring is under investigation too. It's getting crazy, man. Tiffany Henyard, she's one of a kind for sure. Controversy every day. And I watched the stream the other day from Hannibal is Hungry. If y'all don't follow Hannibal is Hungry, y'all should follow him on YouTube, because he actually had an interview with one of the trustees, one of the former trustees, and she talked about how she was the one that had the alleged gang shootout happen outside of her house, and all that controversy. He kind of talked on that, and then he streamed the live board meeting the other day, and that shit was on fire, dude. They were all talking shit left and right. Everybody was throwing salt, and if you had a statement to say, like, okay, who gets to speak next? Anybody got any questions? We're gonna go to the next thing if we don't have any objections. Yeah, I got something to say. Okay, what do you got to say? First of all, yo ain't gonna be talking shit about public works up in here. You ain't gonna be doing this. You ain't gonna be doing that. And they were just letting them fucking have it, setting it straight first, and then we can get on to the order of business, whatever it might be. So that shit was wild. Hannibal is Hungry. Make sure y'all follow him. But everybody was, it's like a bunch of kids in there, really. Like, it was almost a high school debate or something. Like, everybody had to get one up first before you even dealt with any of the city business. And these are straight up grown men and women that should know better, but they want to get that respect in check first, and then we can move on to city business. It's like, come on, man. Decorum. What's up, Latinas in the house? Let's go on to the next one. 2 semi-truck drivers get into a road rage shootout on the highway.
This all started when the suspect allegedly threw a water bottle at another driver. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday. I'm Luann Sorrell.
And I'm John Brown. This is
You have
video
that
from
firing
inside
out the window.
suspect's truck, and you can see him fire several shots out the window. Fox 35 Marlisa Goldsmith is live in the alert center. So Marlisa, it's a miracle no one was hurt here.
Yeah, John and Luann, all of those bullets missed the other driver. That victim told deputies he shot back out of fear for his own life. Let me walk you through what happened here. 2 truckers were driving southbound on I-75 Sunday night. Deputies say the suspect, Dylan Bell-Easton from Virginia, threw the water bottle in an apparent act of road rage. The victim says he pulled over to confront Bell-Easton, but then changed his mind and drove off. That's when, according to the report, Bell-Easton chased that victim and then shot out of his window. You can see right there in that video.
Wow.
The victim shot back after first slamming on the brakes to get away. Deputies say they got a hold of dash cam video from the suspect's truck showing Bell-Easton shooting twice. The sheriff's office says Bell-Easton even pulled out a second gun and pointed it at the victim, but never shot it.
Looked like he shot him
Deputies
4
found
times.
Bell-Easton in Ocala yesterday and arrested him. Bell-Easton now faces several charges, including shooting a missile into another vehicle. He's in the Marion County Jail being held without bond. Live in the Fox 35.
Crazy as hell. So if he would have actually killed that guy, let's just say they're having a shootout, they're having a water bottle fight, 2 grown men in 2 fucking semi trucks going down the highway. They can fucking kill everybody. One guy shoots the other guy. If he would have hit him, his truck is all over the road, killing people left and right. Man, that shit could have went really bad, really, really bad. What up, Lizzo? Lizzo says I'm hungry too. Lizzo always hungry. Boomhauer says. Crazy story, dude. Crazy. Sonia's got one for me here. What you got, Sonia? Oh, shit. Former Covington teacher charged with rape remains behind bars. as the case heads to a grand jury.
Former Mid-South teacher charged with raping one of her former students appeared in court today. You may remember Alyssa McCommon, a former fourth grade teacher in Covington, was originally charged in September. She was arrested again after police say she started harassing that victim. Action News 5's Bria Bolden was in court today for McCommon's preliminary hearing.
New information we learned today in court. The victim at the center of this case is now 15 years old. Prosecutors telling a judge he was actually 12 years old when the alleged rape happened. Former Charter Academy teacher Alyssa McCommon back in court Monday. All right. 3 witnesses testified at her preliminary hearing. A Covington police detective, an asset protection representative from Walmart, and the child at the center of the case.
Certainly, we felt the evidence went beyond what was necessary, which is just to prove that it's more likely than not, or that there's probable cause that she did in fact commit these crimes. So that's what the judge found today. We're pleased with that decision and to move the case forward to the grand jury.
The public and media were not allowed inside while the 15-year-old testified, but new evidence presented in court by prosecutors allegedly shows McCommon on camera after buying a phone from a Millington Walmart. Police say she violated her bond in September after she contacted the victim.
Yeah, we covered this story before, Sonia. When she got busted the first time, they told her no contact with the victim. Then she goes back and has reoffends again by trying to reach out to the damn kid. Like, dude, get your shit together, lady. I think she was married, too.
Does she look like someone that's in the courtroom today?
Yes.
And could you identify the person that's in the courtroom today?
That's this lady over here.
The defense and prosecution are at odds about how old the victim was at the time of the alleged incident, saying it happened at the beginning of the 2021-2022 school year. Prosecutors claim the victim was 12 years old at the time of the alleged rape. McCommon's defense attorney says otherwise.
The alleged incident date is like within a week of the child's birthday. So the reason that's important is the charge would change if the child was 13 versus 12. So obviously that's something that we're going to want to flesh out in the next court.
That's so stupid. That's so stupid to me. 12 or 13? Get the fuck out of here. That's still a child. Whoever makes up these laws need to be taken out and have something done to them.
Client remains in good spirits, and her mental evaluation came back clear. A grand jury will decide whether or not to indict Alyssa McCommon on those charges. If they do decide to indict, this case will move to circuit court. Reporting in Tipton County, Bria Bolden, Action News 5.
Now, the judge in the case, Jennifer Scott, chose to uphold the previous ruling to keep McCommon's bond revoked. She is still in jail tonight. No word yet on when the grand jury will meet.
Crazy. Yeah, we covered that one before, Sonia. Thank you for that update. Get things back on track here. All right, here we go. 2 boat captains arrested, caught attempting to smuggle 24 Haitians into Florida. Let's watch this shit. You're going to see this all the time now that Haiti is going crazy. And they're evacuating the embassy, like I said earlier. Under Joe Biden's administration.
To smuggle people into Florida.
Yeah, deputies say the 2 were on a boat with 24 undocumented Haitians. Fox 35's Marlisa Gold.
What got me thinking, too, on this spot right here is like they're above this shit in either the helicopter or a drone even. They got night vision stuff for drones even. If you're out there on the boat doing stuff with your friends or partying or whatever, you better make sure you're doing shit legal out there because they got you on camera. They're going to watch you do all the bumping the night. When you think it's pitch black, it's dark as hell, and nobody can't see nothing, they're watching you.
Smith is live here in the studio tonight. So, Marlisa, the boat was spotted right offshore near the Brevard Indian River County line.
Yeah, Luann, the Indian River Sheriff says those 2 men will be facing federal charges for smuggling, and he believes the boat is from Brevard County.
Josh, we're going to be just off the L, just kind of. Yep.
Deputies on the ground and choppers up above.
If you see a boat out at night, they're going to be out for fishing.
A call about too many people on a boat at Sebastian Inlet last Thursday night.
When you see that boat coming through and they don't have any of the telltale signs, the fishing poles, the things that you would normally see, it's going to stick out pretty well to you.
Did turn out to be more than a fishing trip. The Indian River County Sheriff says the two captains on this boat were trying to smuggle 24 undocumented men, women, and children from Haiti into Florida. And he believes we could see more of this because of the turmoil going on in Haiti right now.
Anytime you have
See what's going on in Haiti? The gangs are basically taking over shit. And like the head gang leader, his name is Barbecue. They're cannibals and shit. They like to eat people. So they're trying to warn everybody, hey, don't fuck with us. We'll fuck you up. Barbecue does love Sweet Baby Ray's. Sweet Baby Ray's is so good on that barbecue.
Island down there with turmoil, it's going to cause more migrant attempts, immigration attempts, people leaving.
In this case, none of the 24 Haitians touched land, so it makes the process of returning them to their country easier.
In this particular circumstance, because they were still on water, it just expedites the process for our federal partners.
They were all checked out here and safely turned over to Customs Border Patrol to be taken home. And the sheriff's office is on alert, making sure no one tries this again.
It's just because we're a small town, we're sleepy, doesn't mean that people aren't going to try and get through our waterways.
Crazy. So yeah, you're going to see that all the time. You saw that shit that was going on in Haiti. Let me see if I can get the footage for it. Give me 1 second. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for me. I appreciate y'all. Yes, there it goes. It's kind of in wokeness posted this one, how it started, how it's going. This is ignorant, how you have to be, how ignorant do you have to be to call Haiti a shithole. So this is back when Trump called Haiti a shithole country, remember? Now Haitians shot dead in the street and there's no one to take the corpses away. It's getting bad down there. Here we go right here. U.S. military personnel. The U.S. military airlifts personnel from Haiti embassy as the country spirals into violence. U.S. military conducted an operation in Haiti to evacuate non-essential embassy personnel. Whenever you hear that, non-essential emergency people, they tell them, don't go to these areas. It's time to get the fuck out. Shit's going bad and they just gonna leave you there. You know what happened with Afghanistan? U.S. forces reinforced embassy security amidst Haiti's state of emergency due to gang violence. Let's read what he's got here. Shout out to Breaking 911 for this one. Thousands have been displaced due to the violence, posing a threat to the government's stability. This airlift of personnel into and out of the embassy is consistent with our standard practice for embassy security augmentation worldwide, and no Haitians were on board the military aircraft, said the U.S. Southern Command. I mean, coming to a neighborhood near you, these are the type of people that's coming across the border. You just saw the boatload of them. Some of them got legitimate reasons to want to leave. I mean, look at these motherfuckers. But we can't save everybody. Shit, you're going to bring all the bad people here. Dude, get that propane tank strapped on the front of that beach. Crazy, man. You know, when they start airlifting people up out of there, it's done. And then they'll ask him in the press, when are you going to get people out? Oh, man, we're working so hard on that. Whew. As soon as I get back from eating this ice cream, I'll get right back on that. Let's do this one, then we'll jump over to Rumble and get into the crazy plastic surgery story. We'll kind of lead into it here. Dad spikes the smoothies for his daughter's friend's sleepover, says the prosecutor. This is an absolutely unbelievable story.
A father accused of spiking smoothies at his daughter's sleepover, her friends testing positive for dangerous sedatives. Thanks for joining me here on Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Sleepovers are
Shout out to Law and Crime for this story too.
something most preteen boys and girls look forward to, but this case just goes to show you can't be too careful where you let your kids hang out. Mike Maiden faces a number of charges in Oregon. Prosecutors say he mixed sedatives in mango smoothies that he made for his daughter's friends at a sleepover. The details in a search warrant affidavit are disturbing. Investigators claim Maiden arranged all of the activities for this sleepover last August, taking the girls to get their nails done, ordering them pizza, and then dictating their activities at his home. Then detectives say Maiden made mango smoothies for the 4 girls. Each had a different colored straw, and Maiden insists that the girls drink all of the concoction. Thank goodness, one of those girls became suspicious. She described cuddling with one of her friends and said Maiden came to the basement a couple of times and actually took her arm from around her friend. One time, he put his finger under her nose to see if she was sound asleep. The girl texted her mom, "Please pick me up and say I had a family emergency. I don't feel safe. I might not respond, but please come get me. Please pick up. Please." The girl.
Hell no, dude. What would you do if your daughter was at a sleepover and you got that text message that said, please, I probably won't pick up if you call, but come pick me up. I don't feel safe. Shit, I'd go 911. Dude, my daughter is at the sleepover. She just sent me this text message. I'm on my way there. I'll fucking meet you there. And have the cops show up, because they're going to stop everything that's right there in the process. They're going to have all the evidence of whatever the fuck is happening. Yeah, this dad, he is fucked up. It's it.
The girl then texted a family friend who came to get her, and they returned to the home and picked up the rest.
Texted a family friend. Young children, if any youngsters ever end up coming across this show, talk to your parents. They are the motherfuckers that have kept you alive your whole damn life until now. They're going to understand if you get into some weird shit. They did weird shit when they were a kid. They needed their parents to probably help them out, or a sane adult. They're going to understand. You don't have to always go try to find somebody else in the family just because you don't want to piss off mom and daddy. Like, you in trouble right now. This is how motherfuckers come up missing.
Of the girls. Detectives say the girls tested positive for benzodiazepines at the hospital. Those are sedatives that can be used to reduce anxiety, muscle spasms, and reduce seizures. For his part, Mike Maiden has pleaded not guilty to a laundry list of felony and misdemeanor charges, including causing another person to ingest a controlled substance. His lawyer, Mark Cogan, saying, "Mr. Maiden is presumed innocent, and we hope that people will reserve judgment until all of the facts and circumstances are known." With me to discuss this ultra creepy case is somebody who knows all about creepy cases. He's Chris Hansen. He's the co-founder of the...
Have a seat. So we'll listen to Chris Hansen here in a second, but I just wanted to give you the story there. And I'm thinking, like, okay, everybody has the presumption of innocence. How is his defense going to try to spin this shit? Like, hey, I just invited him to come over there. We were playing spin the bottle, this and that or whatever. I was regulating their activities. I'm making their smoothies because I want to make sure they ain't doing no weird shit. I don't know if one of these girls had some type of something and put it in their own drinks. I don't know. That's why I'm saying you call 911, get them on the scene. They freeze everything that's on the scene. They got more remnants of the smoothies in the cup if they didn't drink it all. Yes, exactly, Sonia. Where's the mother? Who allows sleepovers? This is 1000% unnecessary. Parents are dumb. Sorry. Absolutely dumb. You're trusting people that you probably never even had a conversation with. I would want to meet the parents of whoever my child was hanging out with. They thought I was weird. Wanting to meet them. I'm like, what do you do for work? Who are you? I mean, are you married? I'm not trying to get all in their business or nothing, but I want to see where they live. I want to see how they live. Are they some weird motherfuckers? Because you ain't hanging around my kid. If your kid is a little degenerate, you ain't hanging around my kid. I had to tell a kid one time, his mama, I called her on the phone. I said, we went to IHOP to have fucking pancakes and shit. And they had the powdered toast on the French toast and pancakes. And he was looking at us like, you know. And I'm like, what the fuck? You're like 8 years old, 9 years old. How do you know what cocaine is? Like doing the sniffing motion of cocaine, like this is white powder, you know? And then I talked to his mama about it. I'm like, how does he know what this is? He's doing those gestures at the breakfast table. Sonia's on Rumble right now, Latina. She's waiting for us to jump over there. We're going to go over in just a second. But I told her straight up, like, I'm not trying to offend you in any way or anything, but I'm just letting you know that my kid does not hang around people that know what the hell cocaine is. How does your kid know what cocaine is? Oh, well, his brother's on probation for this and that. Oh, okay, that's the problem. That's why he knows what probation is, too. I'm like, come on, man. Not around my kid. I told her, sorry, ma'am, but I thought my son was going to be able to be a good influence on your kid, because I told my kid, dude, sometimes their parents don't care about them. You're going to have to be the good friend that's going to keep them on the straight path. But don't leak on to my kid with that dumbass shit. That's why I just said, no, you're not going to hang out with him. He's looking at me like, why not? I explained it to him straight up. You're not hanging out with dumbasses. You are who you hang out with. You hang out with dumbasses, you're going to be a dumbass. Exactly. Mister says, no, I want pancakes. Dude, crispy pancakes. I don't know if y'all ever had crispy pancakes before. Basically deep frying that shit in some butter, get them edges all crispy, and the middle's all nice and moist and soft with some syrup on that shit. God damn, make you smack your mama in the mouth. Boom Harris says, now Hunter wants some Coke. Exactly. When does he not want it?
True Blue streaming crime network. He's also the host of Takedown with Chris Hansen and also the host of the Predators I've Caught podcast. He wears a lot of hats. Chris, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Your first thoughts about Michael Maiden?
Well, it's disturbing on so many different levels, Anjanette, and you know, it starts with the grooming process. I mean, here you've got a guy who has plotted this sleepover. He's had
plotted it out. Several girls are there. You know, if in his mind, if this don't go according to plan, then what? What? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? You try to get your head around these people's wave of thinking, and you can't even go there. It's amazing.
Calls with the parents of the other girls.
There's a creepy motherfucker right there. Straight up look like a creeper too. Would you let your daughters go sleep over at this dude's house? Ain't no damn way. Where's the mama at? Just like Sonia said. And even if the mama's there sometimes, they fucking weirdos too.
His wife apparently doesn't speak English, so he's controlled this entire event.
So his wife is some kind of immigrant. She doesn't even speak English. I'm not going to talk over Chris Hansen. Let's just keep him going.
Taken them for manicures, all the things that young girls like to do, and then, according to the criminal complaint, drugged them and initiated a process of what can only be described as sexual assault. And so not only is this a horrific crime on its own, but it was a premeditated, planned crime to take advantage of these young girls who only wanted to sleep over and to hang out with their friends. It's just offensive and criminal.
Scarred for life, for one. Your mama is never, ever going to let you go have a sleepover at nobody else's house. Mama, Samantha going to have a sleepover? Hell no. You remember what happened last time? No. Ain't no way. Ain't no way in hell no.
And predatory at every level.
It's completely predatory. And, you know, at this point, these are allegations. But the information in the affidavit here is so damning and so disturbing. I mean, you hit the nail right on the head with the grooming going on. You know, he takes them for a spa day, you know, the nails, and then they do little spa things in the basement, you know, things that girls like to do, especially maybe pre-teenage girls, you know, things that are fun for them. And so he's kind of softening them up.
And
but he's also trying to control everything they do.
Exactly. And that's, you know, what takes this to the next level. You know, it's all bad, you know, all of it. But it's truly one of the most disturbing cases I've ever seen. And to add to it, you've got the fact that he talked to each and every one of these parents. These parents did their due diligence. This wasn't just drop their daughter off at some sleepover where they didn't have a lengthy discussion with the parent of the child hosting the sleepover. There were a lot of discussions here. Promises were made, guarantees were made that these kids were going to be safe, that they were going to be chaperoned. And then at the end of the day, it was the victims, the young girls at the sleepover themselves, who were desperately texting their parents and friends of the family to come get them because they were afraid. This guy is creeping around and putting his finger under their nose to see if they're sleeping or awake. He's drugged them with anti-anxiety medication, according to the complaint. And God knows what could have happened had he given them more drugs. Is there a reaction? Is there somebody who dies? Is there somebody who's sexually assaulted? But this is the takeaway point, I think, having covered hundreds and hundreds of these cases over the years. The girl had the common sense and the courage, some of the girls, to actually reach out to their parents and call and say, hey, this is a bad situation. It's making me uncomfortable. I need help. I need to be picked up. And it goes to my absolute mantra in all these cases. Your best defense is the relationship and the exchange of information with your child.
There you go.
Especially if they're going.
What the fuck did I just say? If you don't have that connection, they're just left onto their own devices in the world. If you don't take care of your kids, the next person ain't going to. They don't have that loyalty to them like you do. Sonia says, were they violated? No, I don't think so, other than their bodies being physically violated. Who knows if somebody could have had some type of allergic reaction to one of those type of drugs that he gave them? Anything could have happened, dude. Anything. He's going to jail. He's going to have the drug charges. He's going to have what you could argue would be attempted assault. What was your plan? What were you going to do? Even Chris Hansen says this. What were you going to do, dude?
You go over to a sleepover. I mean, you know, here's a guy who lives in $1 million home, has a job, is married. You think this is the safest thing in the world for your daughter to do. It wasn't in this isolated case. So
they're in that gated community, $1 million homes. They got that built in, what they think is security. Dude, you never let your guard down. Never.
If your daughter or your son is uncomfortable in any way, they have to be very comfortable coming to you and saying, this is a problem. This makes me feel weird. This isn't right. And what
person that you search. If you'd like to check out Truth.
Well, that was all on that bitch. Crazy, dude. Crazy. Ain't no damn way I would let my kids go over there. $1 million house. I'd be suspect already. Like, dude, how did he make that money? Who is this guy? Because a lot of those people are not in touch with reality anyway, and you're just kind of like, what the hell? They have a totally different way of thinking from regular people. Let's see if I can pull up this other story. Give you a little teaser, then we're going to jump over to the Rumble channel. All right. This is a 60-minute story, so I don't want to play too much of their shit because they're going to try to ding the channel or whatever. So we'll let them set it up for us, and then we'll jump over to Rumble and knock it out of the park. How about that? Sonia says friends can hang out minus sleepovers. What qualified a stranger to hand your kids to anywhere other than their own home overnight? Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're always taking a risk. If you're not there with them 24/7, you're always going to be taking a risk. Mister said he probably had hidden cameras in the house too. What a creep. Dude, yeah, more than likely. There was a guy that was, I posted the story on Instagram. If you follow me over there, you'll see it, or Twitter, you'll see it. There was a cruise ship guy that was a cruise ship employee on the Royal Caribbean cruise that was hiding under beds and watching people undress, taking pictures of them. He had hidden cameras all throughout their rooms, all throughout the bathrooms and stuff. Getting off on watching people get naked and shit. Like, dude, come on, man. He was from the Philippines. Crazy as hell. I'm like, dude, what is going on in this world? Sonya says you're putting them in the beds under other people's roof, on someone else's roof. And what grown man wants to take girls on spa dates? What a pervert, that's who. Exactly. That's weird. That's something for the women to be going out and doing, but still, you see these stories too. These women can't be trusted. It's hard to pin them down because it's men that do it, it's women that do it, it's professionals that do it. Doctors, lawyers, politicians, surgeons. It's crazy, dude. Flight attendant, yep. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And then you're perpetuating the evil in our society by doing those type of things, because people get scarred by things that happen to them as children. And then some people manifest that shit into hurting other people. Whether they're going robbing people, doing drugs, killing people, doing whatever they do. Evil perpetuates evil. You know what I mean? It's a never ending cycle. Devin says, don't trust any woman. Note taken from the lady herself. All right, so this is a 60-minute story exposing the dark underbelly of the cosmetic surgery industry. And I can't really overstate this. We're going to see some crazy shit in this show. So if you're squeamish about any type of body modification or plastic surgeries and stuff like that, bodily fluids and whatnot, you might not want to even watch the next part of this thing. I appreciate y'all for hanging out this long. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into this thing. Then we'll jump over to Rumble. Whoa.
The big sell is irresistible. A glossy appeal to vanity, and it works. From tummy tucks to Brazilian butt lifts, Australians fork out more than $1 billion a year on cosmetic surgery.
I feel like all these professional photos is what I got sucked in by.
But wanting to
look at these fucking nails. First of all, look how long these nails are. You can't even touch with your fingertips, that's what you're supposed to use the phone with. She's having to use the side of her finger because the nails are so long. How do you wipe your tuchus with these things, young lady?
Younger, Thinner, better, doesn't always go to plan.
Dude, mister, I can advise you of 2 things when you're watching this show. Don't eat anything and don't drink anything.
Anyone with a basic medical degree can call themselves a cosmetic surgeon.
3 surgeons are operating here. I'm doing lithosculpture.
You wouldn't.
This motherfucker here, he's doing like TikTok advertisements live in the operating room. And the jabby needle that they got and what they jab them with, dude, that makes me want to pass out watching that shit. I'm like, oh my fucking God. And they wake up and they feel like they've been stabbed all over their body because they have been stabbed all over their body. Latina says she lets her thongs wipe her crack for her. It's butt floss, man. It flosses your honeys. Cake floss. Let's keep going.
Know it from their social media accounts, but these doctors aren't specialist surgeons.
Happening while the patient is asleep.
Don't look now if you don't like gore.
It's staggering, but loopholes in the law allow them to perform major operations with little surgical training.
Let's have a look. Whilst he's still on the table, obviously he's lying flat in this position.
That's crazy. I'm stopping so much because they're going to try to ding me on this music and shit for this story even altogether because it's on YouTube, but they demonetized the channel anyway, so who gives a fuck? But copyright and this and that and whatnot. The people that go through this shit, you can see where they get left scars all over them. They're poking these are the holes where they entered into their body with the little wand. And that thing just goes wild. One lady got her liver punctured several times. They're in there jabbing. They go too far and go to her liver, and she's trying to tell them, like, dude, I don't feel so good. Y'all need to get me up out of here. They aren't listening to her. She had to call the ambulance to get her up out of there.
Sculpted his chest.
They beguile patients into believing that they have the necessary surgical skill to perform their procedures, and when something goes wrong, they are simply discharged off to the nearest emergency department.
The truth is, weak regulations and a
Wow.
business model that puts profit.
Dude, look at this. This is a flesh-eating type shit right here going on where the wound is not healing properly. This lady was left with all this extra flesh. Because when they get rid of the fat's gone. They in their contract, yeah, we're going to suck all that fat up out of there. But you're going to left with all this extra skin. That's going to be more surgery to remove that skin. Absolutely amazing. We're going to get into all that and so much more on the Rumble channel here in just a second. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I definitely appreciate y'all. Get that link in the top of the chat. I pinned it at the chat there. It's going to take you over to rebelwithoutareason.com. Hit that live button for the Rumble show, and I'll see you over there. Thank you to my rebels for being here. I definitely appreciate y'all. I'll be back on Thursday. I might as well just change the time to whenever I fucking get around to it, because I try to say 7, I try to say 8, I try to say 9. Whenever I get here is whenever I get here. You understand me? Shout out to the moderators. Anthony McQuaid, Atomic Tabasco, Cat F, Zeta Weechi's Cane Sword, Latina and Cali, wherever the hell SE Wolverines is right now, missing in action. Shout out to my brother. And the beautiful Miss Sonia Scrapbook, the best damn co-host on the internets. To everybody that's not going to stick around for the Rumble show, I appreciate y'all for being here this long. But everybody head over to Rumble right now. I will see you guys over there. Peace out, YouTube.
Let's do